Welcome to this inversion-free yoga flow to sweat it out. In order to keep things moving, I'll give minimal cues, basically just the pose names. You will need 2 blocks for this or something that resembles blocks to make sure that you stay inversion-free. Go ahead and grab what you need and we'll get started. Make sure you have your props set up at the top of your mat and we'll start in Tadasana. Feet nice and grounded underneath you, energizing from the bottom to the top, lengthening through the spine, and we stay here for a few breaths. Eyes can either be closed or look down to the tip of your nose. On your next breath, please start a sun salutation. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, find your way to plank. Moving through your Vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, find Child's Pose. Stay there for 3 breaths. From here, moving into a parallel squat position. Knees together, tuck the toes, shift your weight back, sit bones to the heels. One more breath here. And we move into plank. From this plank, lift the right heel a couple inches. Exhale, flat of the chest, step it forward, find high lunge. Then bring your left leg forward, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's move right into chair to get that heat going. Inhale, arms sweep up, bend the knees. Utkantasana. As you exhale, hands come to the heart. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to your right. Either hands connect to the outer thigh or keep them in prayer and tuck your elbow. Be very mindful here that the head stays above the heart. On your inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. On your inhale, come to center. Exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find your way back to plank. Vinyasa. Finding your way back to Child's Pose. Staying for a few breaths. Find your way to your parallel squat. Coming forward to plank. Lift the right heel a couple inches. This time bend the knees so the heel comes to the sit bone. Let that right foot gently tap behind you, side plank for a modified wild thing. Once you're here, press the hips forward, move into a nice back bend. Now, if you're not inversion free, feel free to go into full wild thing. And we bring it back, find that 3-legged plank, and we take a Chaturanga push-up. You can bring your knees down if you need to modify. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press it up. Find regular plank. Inhale, the right heel up again. Exhale, step through, find your high lunge. This time, turn to the right side of your mat. All 10 toes, your belly button, your chest, all face to the right side of the mat. Once you're there, the right arm lifts up and over and reach towards the bottom of your mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, sweep the top arm over the ear. Inhale, let the hips sink. Exhale, sweep up and over, lifting those hips. One more time. This time the hand comes all the way over. Find your high lunge and then flip into Skandasana. Right sit bone to the heel. I'm breathing here, getting a nice stretch through the inner thigh and through the hips. One more breath. Bring it back to your high lunge. Make sure that your hands on either side of that front foot, so if you need to wiggle it in front of the shoulder, then do so. We're gonna move into warrior three. 1, 2, 3. Shift the weight, lift it up, find your balance. From here, we're gonna take some pliés. So you can use your blocks here underneath the fingertips for balance, or if you're next to a wall, use the wall. We're gonna bend both legs. Make sure that top knee stays in the space that it's in. So you're just gonna work the hamstring, right? So we have inhale, bend the legs, exhale, straighten them. 2 more times. Good. From here, soften both knees. Find your way up to tree pose. Any variation of the arms that you like. We'll stay for about 3 breaths. From here, we move into eagle pose. Cross the left thigh over the right, bend the right knee. And because the left leg is up top, the left arm wraps underneath. Either full wrap or hug. Whatever's available to you, we stay for 3 breaths. Untangle, find your way back to warrior three. Fingertips to the blocks, ease your way down to high lunge. Nice and slow, really work that standing leg. Gently tap down. You can move the blocks, hands to the mat, heel to the sit bone, step it back, Vinyasa. Finding child's pose for 3 breaths. Moving into your squat, knees together, tuck the toes, shift the weight back. And find your way to plank. From here, left heel lifts a couple inches, bend at the knee. Find your wild thing. Bring it back to regular plank, taking a chaturanga push-up. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you press up. Lifting that left heel again. Exhale, step it through, find high lunge, and then turn your whole body to face the left side of the mat. All 10 toes. And let that left arm reach towards the bottom of your mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, sweep the arm up overhead. Inhale, return the arm, hips sink down. Exhale, up and over. Inhaling, sinking the hips. Exhale, up and over, find that high lunge. We're going to rotate into Skandasana. Now facing the right side of the mat, getting that nice stretch through the inner thigh, and staying upright. We want to keep our energy flowing upwards and outwards. And find your way back to your high lunge. We're going to move forward into warrior three. You can set up your blocks if you need them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Find that balance, floating up. Now we take our pliés. You can bring your fingertips to the blocks or to the wall. On your inhale, bend both knees, heel to the sit bone. Exhale, straight. Inhale, bend the legs. Exhale, straight. One more time. From here, bend the legs. Start to bring yourself up to vertical to find tree pose. Again, bringing the arms wherever they like to go. Whatever you did on the first side, try to do the same on the second. Moving into eagle pose from here, you're going to take your right thigh, cross it over the left. Bend that standing knee. Right arm comes underneath. Either flip and wrap or hug. Whatever's available to you on this side. Gently untangle, find your way back into warrior three, hands to prayer. You can bring your fingertips to the blocks again. Soften the standing knee. We're going to find our way to high lunge, moving very slowly, controlling the descent. Let those back toes gently touch. Hands come flat. Heel to the sit bone, extend it back, and Vinyasa. Finding your child's pose, staying here for about 3 breaths. Find your way now to your squat. Staying for 2 breaths. And plank. Right heel lifts up. Exhale, thigh to the chest, step it through. We find warrior two. Rotate the back heel, inhale, and settle in to your warrior. Now from here, since we've already done eagle arms, we're going to do them again. Take the left arm underneath the right, flip and wrap. But because we've done it before, let's let the arms rest down on the chest and let them naturally fall to your right. Once they do that, allow the left ear to move to the left shoulder. You get a nice neck stretch here. On your inhale, come back up through vertical. Exhale, release the arms. Warrior two. Turn the palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. If you'd like a little extra intensity here, turn your head to look toward your back foot. Top hand comes behind the neck or between the shoulders, and slide those fingers down as you sink into that front leg. Inhale, coming up through vertical. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearm to the thigh, fingers to a block or all the way down to the mat. Top arm can go where you'd like it to go. From here, half moon balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Use those fingers on the blocks, find the balance. And your top arm can really do whatever you like here. I have mine in a bind, but you can bring it to your waist. And if you feel really good here, you can extend it upward, wherever you'd like it to go. On your exhale, soften that standing knee, very gently come back to 2 feet. Turn your toes to face the front of the mat, grab your blocks, bring them in front of you. We'll move into Prasarita. So make sure your heels are even, lengthening up through the spine. As you exhale, bend at the hips, fingertips come to the blocks. You can come to flat palms as long as the legs are wide enough here, and gently shift the hips from one side to the other. So this gets the backs of the legs, but when we shift the hips from one side to the other, we activate the inner thighs as well. One more time, each side with the hips. And come back to neutral hips. Bend the knees, turn the toes. We're going to take warrior two on the second side. So shift the blocks first. And find your way into warrior two. Adjust your heels as you need to. Left leg is now bent in front. Breathing here. Taking eagle arms now, right comes underneath the left, flip and wrap. Let the arms rest on your chest. Hands fall to the left, right ear to the right shoulder. Make sure you're still nice and strong in those legs. On your inhale, bring the head back up, release the arms. Find warrior two. Now we take reverse warrior. Inhale, flip the palm. Exhale, lift up and back. For more intensity, if you'd like, turn the head to look towards that right foot. Top hand can come behind, touch the back of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Take an inhale, and then exhale, slide those fingertips down the calf muscle, but soften more into that front knee. Inhaling, coming up through vertical. Exhale, extended side angle. Either forearm to the thigh, fingertips to a block, or all the way down to the mat. Top arm can extend, bring it to the waist, or bind behind the back. And breathe here. Moving into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Start to shift the weight forward. Use your fingertips on the block. Float the back leg up, and top arm can do as you wish. Soften that standing knee. Gently lower yourself down, 2 feet on the mat. Grab your blocks. Whoa. Bring them to the middle or the side middle of your mat. Moving into Prasarita. Heels are parallel, lengthening up through the spine. Nice inhale. Then exhale, bend at the hips and fold it forward. We'll take the same gentle hip shifts. So going to one side, gently coming through center, and shifting to the other. Go one more time each side. And bring the hips back to neutral. Soften the knees. You can turn the heels a little bit. Start to roll up through the spine. Let's bring the blocks to the top of the mat. Go ahead and step up to the top of the mat. So now you're in Tadasana, sun salutation. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find your way back to plank. Take your Vinyasa. And just rest in child's pose here. So one more breath here in your child's pose. And gently bring your knees together. We're going to shift into boat pose. So just find a way onto your sit bones and find whichever variation of boat pose feels the best for you. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Two more breaths. Go ahead, gently release. We'll take Paschimottanasana, so extending the legs out in front, bring them about hip width apart, sitting up nice and tall through the spine, scoop the belly, exhale, fold it forward. Yogi toe lock, hold the toes, hold the shins, hold the ankles, whatever you can reach. And to stay inversion free, keep the spine nice and long here. If the elbows are soft, bring them out to the side. One more breath. Bring yourself up to vertical, boat pose again, thighs to the chest, float the legs. We'll move into half Lord of the Fish from here. So take your left ankle, cross it over to the right hip, right foot bends, foot flat onto the mat. Inhale the left arm up, exhale, twist, hug or tuck the elbow around the thigh. Let your head rotate all the way around to the right as well. On your inhale, bring your eyes to the front. Exhale, gently release, and we'll move into cow face. So stacking the knees as best you can. If you need to prop here, then of course put things under your sit bones. Flex the ankles, sitting up nice and tall, and then exhale, folding forward. We're focusing on the hips here, but if you want to do the arms and you know them, go for it. Good. On your inhale, come up through vertical. Exhale, untangle those legs. Let's take boat pose again. Floating the legs up. One more breath. This time take the right heel, cross it around so that it's next to the left hip. Left foot comes flat on the other side of the right thigh bone. Sitting up nice and tall, right arm extends up by the ear, and then exhale, twist to the left, hug or tuck the arm around the leg. On your inhale, the eyes come to the front. Exhale, release the twist, and let's find cow face. So doing the best you can to stack the knees. Flex the ankles, sit up nice and tall through the spine, and if it's available to you, exhale and fold forward. We only want to go as far as the body tells us it's safe to go. One more breath. On your inhale, gently rolling up through the spine. Exhale where you need. We're going to untangle those legs and move into Uttadista Konasana, basically a straddle. So let your legs come out to whatever distance is most comfortable for you. Again, sitting up tall through the spine. You can grab your blocks here if you're afraid you're going to go into an inversion, if you are inversion free. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, start to fold it forward. Now you can bring the blocks wherever it makes sense to you. I've chosen to slide them underneath my ribs, make sure that I don't go too far, too fast. You don't even have to use the blocks, it's just an option for you. Looking for a nice healthy stretch through those inner thighs, the hips. You might feel this behind the knees. Do your best to let the quadricep muscles, those thighs, relax as you ease into the stretch. One more breath. Gently rolling up through the spine. Exhale where you need. Before you move your legs, we're just going to let them hang out for a bit. Take your blocks and set them up on the top of your mat, preparing for Savasana or whatever other props you might have with you. Once those are kind of in a general area, use your hands on your legs and gently bring them together. Give them a good shake. And you can flex the knees a little bit here, especially if that was intense on your legs. And then pay attention to those props again. Make sure that they're in proper alignment. You want the back one on the high level and the one closest to you on the medium level, or if that's too much, take it down one level each. Before we lay back, let's take bound angle pose. Bottoms of the feet together, holding on to the ankles or the arches of the feet. Try not to hold on to the toes. Sit up nice and tall, open those elbows, and then exhale, hinge it forward. We'll get a little deeper into those hips. One more breath. Gently roll up through the spine. Exhale where you need. Now these props, we're gonna lay on them. Allow the block under your spine to go right between the shoulder blades. We don't want it on the lower back, but just above there so that it supports the weight of your rib cage. And the other block will come right to the base of your skull. It doesn't have to lay flat. More often than not, it's kind of on a diagonal. But you want to feel nice and secure with the head on the block. Once you're all set up, let your arms extend out to your side, but no higher than the shoulders. We'll stay here for a few breaths before we move into Savasana. And of course, if this is too intense on your back, you can gently roll to one side, bring yourself back up to vertical and switch the height. So from here on your own time, when you feel ready, allow the legs to extend into your Savasana. You can give them a little bit of a rotation just to release out the bound angle pose a bit. And if this is way too much on your lower back, Bend the knees so the feet are flat, about mat width apart, and then let the knees gently fall together. It's more of a constructive rest on the lower part of the body. If it's chilly where you are, bring a blanket over you. Let the eyes close and take rest. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Find energy in your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, hands, and feet. Bring the legs together underneath you, nice and long. Let the arms extend up overhead for a nice big stretch through the body. And gently bend the legs, bringing the feet flat, mat width apart, and windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Gently move yourself into fetal position. Rolling onto your right side, you can stay on the props here. Use your hand underneath the head for support if you need it. And gently press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed, and either bring the hands to prayer in front of the heart, or one hand on your heart and one on your belly. And take this opportunity to check in to see how you feel after that practice. Perhaps a little sweatier. Maybe a little bit more alive. Whatever it is, observe without judgment. And take a few moments now for some gratitude, something you're thankful for in this moment, and a few reasons why. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. If you're craving more yoga and you've got more time, go ahead and try one of these beautiful flows over here. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.